Hello and welcome to this session of our Toast Talk. Today I have with me Martin Rusbjerg. Did I pronounce it well enough?
You stick with that. I used to live in England, so I took away the J because it got too complicated. I call myself Rusbjerg when I'm
Okay. As you can see, he won our last District 95 International Speech Contest in May 2023. So I'm really happy that you take the time to let us know a little bit about yourself and how you got to win the speech contest. So my first question is for you, when did you join Toastmasters and what was the main reason?
So I joined back in the Esbjerg club in Denmark in November 2019. I was introduced by Toastmaster by a friend, and he told me all about it, and I looked at the agenda and I thought, what kind of menacing is this when you need to have an agenda that it goes down to the exact minute? Like, what kind of people is that? And I was like, I don't think this is anything for me. I really like to be just like go with the flow. And then he was like, I think it was a trick. He said, well, I'm being a Toastmaster in this club and I really need somebody to do the timing. And me and him, we have this friendship. Like, if somebody asks for help, we're gonna do it for each other, no matter what the cost is. So I was like, okay, I will help you. And I went there. I had a lot of fun. I still thought it was really weird having an agenda goes down minute to minute. So I was like, I don't know. And he invited me again. I was like, okay, do you still need me as a timer? No, just come as you are. And I always enjoyed presenting. And for me, I just saw this kind of fun to it, especially like table topics. I think I'm one of the few ones who really started liking that. But I just thought, hey, there's a chance for me to grow and a prize for me to learn. So why not just go with it?
Cool. And so you became a member quite recently from some point of view. So you're not a 10 years member or 15 years member.
No,
did you take part in the speech contest already the next year, or did it take a while until you said, okay, I will try it out?
So when I heard about the contest, I thought, that sounds super exciting. The thing is, with Pathway, I was only on level 1. I just gave my icebreaker speak, so I couldn't participate in the contest. So I participated in table topic and I participated in the evaluation contest. And because I was just a bit of a go-getter, it was the first time I ever did evaluation at Toastmaster was in the contest. And I didn't make a good placement, I can tell you that. But I made it further on to table topics where I made all the way to divisional level. So I was familiar with that part of the contest. The thing for me, the reason why I decided to join the next contest, so the following year I was president in the Esbjerg Toastmaster Club. And then afterwards I was area director. And then at the end of my term as area director, we had a baby girl. And I said to myself, I just need to focus a little bit more on my family. So I took what I call a maternity leave as a Toastmaster. After I had been gone for about 6 months, I could just feel like there was something I hadn't done yet. And it kept bothering me. And when I went to the gym, I just kept thinking about, I have some thoughts. It'll be a really great speech. I know I just have a little bit more energy in me. I have something I haven't resolved yet. I don't know if you've ever seen Rocky. He says this thing, I had a little bit in the basement.
Okay.
And I felt like that, and it kept annoying me. Therefore, I joined Toastmaster again with the purpose of I was going to enter the contest. I was unsure if it was going to be in 2023 or if it was going to be in 2024. So I had a year to prepare. And then I had a really good Toastmaster friend who was like, why don't you just go for it? Get to practice, have some fun with it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it now, I guess. And I made the speech, and it's just so different, being in a speech contest compared to just giving a speech in Toastmaster, where you have certain objectives. When you go into the contest, you need to make a speech and be like, I need to have a point. I need to make this super valuable, and I need to make it exciting, and I need to get people hooked. It's just so different than knowing okay, I need to be really good with my body language. This one is you're on your own, you have no objectives, you just need to give the greatest speech ever made.
That's great. Lots of people are worried about the speech contest because they think, they have to become better before they even start in the speech contest. I like your attitude that you said, okay, just have some fun with it. And I think there's a lot you can learn during the speech contest. Like, for example, you said, okay, you do not focus on one thing, like on the project, like on the body language or on your vocal variety. So what did you get out of the speech contest or out of the levels of the speech contest? What is your resolution of that?
For me, the really interesting thing with it, so we were two participating in the club level, and I was just off to a rough start. I had the speech, I've been rewriting the speech, I have been presenting the speech, I've got hardcore feedback, and I was like, I don't know what to do, I'm just gonna give it. And for me, I was a little bit cocky, and I was like, you know what? I have been president, I have been area director, I have completed 2 level 5s in the pathway program. I can get the first place here. I made a second place.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And the person who won the first place, she was like, you got second place. I was like, I did. And for me, that was, and it really hurt my ego. And for me, I was like, okay, I am beatable. And that was the most important learning that I have throughout this entire journey, was I am beatable. And if you want to proceed on in this contest, you need to be better. So for me, the one thing I love about being a club member and just practicing in is we have such a great atmosphere where it is just going up and giving a speech is just a huge achievement just on the club level. When you make it into a contest, you need to see, okay, what can I do better? What works? What doesn't work? You need to evaluate. You need to allow yourself to get critical feedback. And you need to allow yourself to be critical against yourself. Because it's not just going up and giving a speech. At this time, you're not just going to get feedback, you're going to get judged. And that's just a whole different aspect, and a whole different aspect, let's call it that. So and when I made it on, it's like, when I came to the area level contest, I was like, should I just improvise? Like, I wasn't good with my club level, and I rewrote the whole speech, and I was like, I don't know what to say. And I've been practicing the club, and I was like, I gave this speech, I don't know what I want to say. And I just feel like this is what's on my heart, and this is what I want to share. And then I had one that is really great mentor to me, Jette, from Toastmasters Club. She's like, Martin, it was a great speech that you gave at the club contest. It had so much value. Just give it again. And then I was like, okay, I need to relax. So at the area level, I relaxed more. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have fun again. And I tried some different things I hadn't done before, just allowing myself a little bit more, like especially like with my body language and just being more wow. So especially like when it comes to my speech, like this aspect of like I do in the beginning, like I clap the scale super loud. I did that for the first time in the area contest because I was like, okay, I need to start with a bang. How do I create a bang? This is how you create a bang.
Simple and effectual. Great.
So I did that, and I could see people were like, this was a really good speech. Like I could feel it, and I got a lot of great feedback. I made a second place in the area contest. And again, I had to be reminded myself, okay, you did better, you're still beatable. I gotta work your butt off. So when it came to the divisional level, the thing is, I just feel like that's such a big step, especially like with the experienced people, because like for me, you see often a lot of the same people going into division because it's often more people who have a little bit more experience, also like in the professional life. I was so intimidated when it came into the division level. I thought it was such a different level. And I said, I just looked at them. I was like, I was the last one to go. I was like, this was a really great speech. And this was a great speech. I was like, I feel sometimes, and that's like a little bit of the shame that is with contest, is a lot of people follow this a really safe pattern. And they look a lot about what other people do. And mine was like, so I call it like the great Toastmaster speech. So, and I just felt like mine was so different. I was like, oh, is this too bold? For instance, a lot of people that start in the beginning of the speech, dear contest chair, dear judges, dear fellow Toastmasters. They started that in the beginning where I was bold. I did it at the end to highlight my point. And I was like, did I follow the Toastmaster recipe? And I was thinking so much, what is the judge going to think? And now I was like, I'm just going to give it my all, and I'm just going to have fun. And then when I came to the announcing, I was like, I was the winner. I was in shock. And now I don't believe that you should just shout for joy in a contest, but I did that anyways. And I just I took up. I was like, yo, I won. And at that time, I could just feel like, okay, now is the big lead, like being in the district contest. And then for me, I took a different approach with that one. I really just sat down, I looked at my speech, and I just visualizing myself like, okay, I'm giving this speech. Because for me, when it comes to public speaking isn't as much of delivering a message. I think that's a very small part of public speaking. The biggest part that is, and the purpose of public speaking is to make people gain feelings. That is what is the point of giving a speech, is to create feelings in people. So I looked at every single line and I said, okay, when I say this line, what feeling is this gonna give people? When I say this line differently, is it gonna give a better feeling? Is people gonna maybe getting weirded out, or what is this going to be about? So I changed the perspective of that, and I was like, okay, what if I do this movement? How will that affect their feeling? So I continued to do it like that. And when it came to the district context, I was so nervous. I have an Apple Watch, and they kept saying like, your heart is really racing. You're not very precise. Are you okay? And I was like, I'm okay. So I took a different approach. I was like, I couldn't. It was too much for me to be in the room seeing other people speak. I was thinking, I just need to focus on my own speech. I should not compare to anybody else. I know everybody's super great here. So what I did was I went backstage. I stayed the whole time backstage, and I just kept walking around, doing my speech, doing my movements, and just practice. And I continued to do that. And I thought, okay, now I'm ready. And at the moment, like my name was, I was like, okay, now we have Martin Rusbjerg. I could just hear my Apple Watch like just completely going, do. Are you okay? Are you okay?
But you kept it on during the contest, or did you take it off? Or
I had it like on silent mode.
Okay.
And I was just like, it was hard enough just being my own skin. So, but it was a lot of fun. And I think the biggest learning up to that was, again, you're beatable. And that's something that I had to accept in order to improve myself and also humble myself, and to be able to see like, hey, it doesn't really matter that you have passed like 5 levels, but like passed 2 level 5s and pathways. It doesn't matter. You're still beatable. So, and I kept that to heart. And I love the aspect also of seeing other people grow. I competed on district level, on division level, with one of my closest friends, Isabella, from the Aalborg Toastmaster Club. And seeing her grow, I remember when we were going ready to the contest, I leaned over to her because she was so nervous. I leaned over to her because she was talking about her fiance. I was like, remember, you're not going up to share a message or anything. You're not going up to giving a speech. And she looked very confused at me. It's like, you're going up to share what you have on your heart, that you met somebody you loved. And that's the same thought I had to myself. You're not just giving a speech. You're just going up to share what you have on your heart and your mind, and then sharing that with people. I think the coolest thing, like after you come out of the stage and you're just like, time to breathe. My topic was about the aspect of like being obese and some of the feelings that come with being obese, especially like when you go through a journey, like how you can get like feeling like super low self-esteem, and like how you do everything you can just to see the numbers going down, because like when you see the numbers going down, your self-esteem going up, because apparently the numbers become your value. And I had a lot of people coming up to me afterwards, and I had a girl who said to me she's been struggling with eating disorder for many years, and she's been dealing with them, and then it suddenly popped back, like a few weeks ago, and it just this gave her so much motivation and gave me an understanding of what value she has. That it doesn't matter what the scales say, you still have a great value. I don't know if I answered your question. I just kept on.
I don't remember exactly what question I gave last. So, but I think you answered a lot of questions. I have one question. You mentioned that you had a mentor. Was she guiding you through all the process, or was she just there at area level or on club level? Or
So
did she come up after you have won on club level? How does this come to happen?
So Jette has always been a mentor to me. The thing is with Jette, the best people to get feedback from, in my opinion, is people who are willing to hurt you. It's not a great leadership opinion, but it's like she is just so pure in the aspect of she doesn't tell you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. And I gave her my speech, and like straight from the beginning, even when I came with the idea of what to do with my speech, like she gave me really great feedback, and she's been a very experienced Toastmaster. She's been a member since 2015 and seen many contests, so she kept like, hey, have you thought about this? I think you should do this. Could this work? And going back and forth. The thing is, like, it's really great hearing other people's feedback, but you also have to think about, okay, how can I do this? What is it that I would like to share? What feelings is it that I want to create? So you don't lose ownership of your speech. And sometimes it's also like going with a way that maybe people don't expect. It's because, like, let's say if you give a speech that if you don't feel the ownership of it, you're not gonna deliver it in the same excitement as you might do, because you're like, okay, it's more for me. It's not about being safe in that aspect when you're giving a speech. Like I didn't follow like Toastmaster recipes, as I call it. I wanted to do it my way, and I want to do it differently. So she helped me in that aspect. And she continued also to encourage me, as I said, like an area level. I didn't want to give the same speech. I didn't think anymore. Because I just was like, well, it's not a winner speech. Another person beat me. So why should I give the same speech again? And she was like, just believe in it. You can do it. And she continued to do it all the way through. And I got some great feedback from her. The hardest I feel like the hardest time that has been was after the contest, knowing that you have to prepare for the regional contest, now the semifinals. Like if you make it to them, I wasn't that good with the rules in the aspect of like understanding. Okay, I need to, like, if I make it to the finals, then you need to give a whole different speech. And for me, I wish I prepared a little bit more in that aspect. It was the biggest learning I had, was also thinking, okay, you need to make not a good speech, not a great speech, but the best speech. And for me, that changed so much of the way I was thinking. I was like, okay, how do I give the best speech this year? And I've been practicing, and I kept practicing, and I was back and forth. And that's really when I feel like I started studying, just giving speeches. I didn't make it to the semifinals, but I would say I learned so much in that aspect. Both like, okay, how do I get critical feedback from everybody? So, and I felt like, again, what defines the best speech? I love that. I spent so much time thinking about it.
That's a very interesting question, yeah? What defines the best speech? What will be the best speech? Yeah. Do you think that the contest changed your communication also outside of Toastmasters? Do you have now a different way to approach people or audiences, or just one-on-one communication?
I feel like that the contest really helped me, both like humbling myself, but also being more open of sharing something that is so vulnerable. because like talking about obesity and like talking about like how that it can co-align with your self-esteem is super like it's a very vulnerable topic to talk about. And I felt like it's helped me more when I communicate with other people who maybe have I, a lot of people after my weight loss have come up to me and like, hey, how did you do it? And like explaining about like, okay, like how did you do it? What was hard? And some of the feelings that is behind it. I felt like it's helped me in the communication of instead of maybe focusing so much like on the theory, like you need to be in a calorie deficit, you need to do this, do. It's helped me more understand the person behind and like what feelings is that they go with through a weight loss. So I felt like it also helped me putting words through my own journey. Helped me to have the courage to share it with other people and better express myself with it.
Wow. I think there's no better ending we could put here. So, except if you have some final words you want to share with our audience, I would say.
I would say when it comes to the contest, have fun, take it seriously, learn to take feedback. It is so valuable being able to take critical feedback because, as I said, it's a different game. But also allow yourself to push yourself and not limit yourself by thinking, okay, I got this, I can do this, do. But really think about, like as I say, it's not about like giving a speech, it's about constantly think about what feelings is it that you want to create. Because if you can leave them with great feelings and great excitement, that's our purpose in Toastmasters, is to create feelings.
Great. Thanks a lot for your time.
And for your
for insights on your own learning and on your own experience during the contest. And I wish everyone in our audience a happy contest season on the stage or as a judge or in whichever position you take during the contest.
And to those who win, this is not a bad boy. Like it's a nice one to have home in your with the blur. It looks good in the shelf. I just got to say that.
That's great. All right, then.